Yeah, hot boy. Yeah, hot boy.
All right. Welcome, man, to podcasting with Pop Boiler. I am your host, Jormel Reese.
And
And who do I got with me?
I am your co-host, my Jesna Foster. How are y'all doing today?
Man, well, I can't answer for them, but what I'm saying? I'm doing amazing. How about yourself? How you feeling?
I am great. I'm super excited about this is our first guest for our first episode of a podcast with Pop Boiler. So I'm excited.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm excited about this too. You know what I mean? Like this, the guest that we got today, man, I can say so many different words about this brother. Like when I first met him, man, just like very home. Like man, when I was out of home, you know what I'm saying? When I first met him, I was in a different location. This brother just made me feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? He felt like a brother from right down the street in St. Louis, but this brother was right down the street from Chicago. So he made me feel we just connected. Like soon as we met each other, it was just a real deep connection. And then also the things that he was doing inside of the community really intrigued me with his program. So Jazzy, I'm gonna let you kind of like bring him in and and then we're gonna get in straight into this thing. So bring him in properly.
Right.
Bring him in properly.
Yes. So we got Chief President and Executive Founder of the Youthage Culinary Program, Mr. Robert Collins.
Robert Collins, y'all, man. Why y'all try to give him a round of applause? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a round of applause more. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time to actually be here and to just shed some light on what it is that you actually doing inside of the community. So thank you again for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for the opportunity and the forum to be able to talk about the program and what we do in the community. So thank you very much.
Most definitely. So
go ahead.
So, Jazzy, you wanted to say something? Go ahead, say something.
No, go right ahead.
I was just saying, I think this is really dope. Of course, before people come on, I get to check out like what they're doing, see a little bit more. I think it's dope so far of what I'm seeing. So I can't wait to dive in and, learn more about you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Most definitely. So we're gonna get started. Like, let me bring in what he does. Like, you know what I'm saying? Here's his website, Youthage Culinary Specialist, and this is what he does. This is the program that he has when he's teaching kids how to be able to cook. Not just kids, he's teaching adults. He's starting from the ages of 4 to 8. He has seniors that are going from, he got what they call senior chefs from 15 to 18. And then he has adults that he's actually teaching how to cook. So if you one of them adults that don't know how to be able to cook, my man will be able to hook you up and take care of you. You know what I mean? Not only do he do that, he does date nights. So if you need a date night meals, he does those type of things. I've personally been able to utilize this brother. This brother is amazing. And so what I want to ask you is like, what inspired you to actually start creating this as a program?
Well, this program was more of a ministry, man, for me, believe it or not. I'm a retired military veteran. So for me, I did 3 tours overseas in Iraq, and it was an opportunity for me. I had some near-death experiences, and they were more so an opportunity for me to make a commitment to God to say, well, one of the situations I went through, the last one that I went through, and I told God, if you brought me through this, whatever you asked me to do, I'll do it. I had no idea I was going to be working with kids. So while I was there, though, the program, he gave me the program, he gave me the name. So I did the business plan and everything else while I was overseas. And I made a promise to him that I would do what he asked me to do when I got back home. But initially, I didn't do that because I'm a chef of 30. At that time, I think I was a chef for like 20, 21 years. So I've been a chef for a long time. But when I came back home, I did everything but that. You know, I had two restaurants. I was doing full catering. So my plate was full, and I was feeding at that time. I was doing contract catering. I was feeding like 750 kids throughout Lake County, just feeding kids and doing the nutrition program through the state and everything. So and running my restaurant. So it was a lot on me at that time. So I continued to do the restaurants and everything, and then I would I didn't do exactly what I told God I would do, and that's just work with kids. So I was running restaurants, and then so I started a program inside my restaurant to appease God to say, okay, I'm gonna do what I said I would do. So I started a program. I started working with at-risk youth. I started working with other programs like Allendale and a couple other programs in the community where I would have the kids come over to the restaurant and I would teach them, front of the house, back of the house, how to cook and prepare food, customer service, how to run a register, proper etiquette, food service and sanitation. So I started that program and I was working with, like I said, at-risk youth and kids throughout the community. But I did that, but it wasn't what God had for me in store for me to do. So eventually, I got a wake up call. In 2014, God was trying to tell me like He wanted me to do what He asked me to do, and that's just teach. He didn't ask me to, do the restaurants, catering, none of that. So He wanted me to just teach kids. So in 2014, I lost 5 family members to diabetes in 1 year. I lost, yeah. So that was more of a mental break for me, but it was more of a wake up call from God saying, this is why I want you to teach and educate our youth, because if not, they may go through the same thing that your family went through, or they may have to suffer the way your family suffered. And I want you to be an advocate and educate these kids on healthy eating, why it's important to eat healthy, what is considered healthy, because a lot of our kids don't know and don't understand the difference between healthy and unhealthy. So in 2015, I positioned myself. I walked away from my job, my contract job, and then 2015, I closed both restaurants, and I opened in 2016. I stepped out on faith and opened a nonprofit. That was really hard. That was a real challenge for me to open a nonprofit, seeing as how I was always in a for-profit industry.
So so let me ask you this: why was that? Why was that so hard? Tell people why it's so hard to transition from a for-profit to a non-for-profit.
Well, one of the hardest tasks was because, see, for a for-profit, a non-for-profit, you got to go get it. You know how you're going to make your money. You can plan on XYZ. You know food costs. You know what you need to do to make money. But when you're a non-for-profit, then you have to rely and depend on asking other people for money. So this was when God really humbled me, because being from Chicago, I was never one to ask anybody for anything.
Right.
So it was always a hustle, it was always a grind. It was always, I know how to make money. I know what I need to do to make money. But when you have to go and ask other people for a handout, not so much a handout, but a hand up, and ask people to help you or tell people you need help, I wasn't used to that. It just wasn't part of my cloth to ask for help. It made me feel a certain type of way, but God humbled me and said, well, this is my program, so you're going to have to do what I ask you to do. So for me, that's why it was such a hard thing for me to do.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy about that is the giver and the receiver. You have to learn how to be able to receive what God is giving to you.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And
Right.
and I think a lot of the times, especially for just people in general, we have a heart. We love being a good giver, but
Right.
receiving is
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard for us to be able to do. So Jazzy, do you got any questions for Mr. Rob Collins while we here?
I yeah, I do, but I love that part. I love the part of you letting go and fully being guided with what God's purpose was for you, and you finally stepped into it. A lot of people are scared to let go.
Yeah.
They want to your spiritual relationship and faith has to be really strong enough to understand what it was that you had to do and
Mhm.
why you had to do it. It wasn't for you,
Correct.
and that's what people sometimes get mixed up. The purpose isn't for you, it's to continue to serve, to be that spirit to serve others the
Yeah.
way that God wants you to do. So I just love that part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience, because sometimes we as people we go through life and we feel that we give, but if you're not used to receiving on the other end of that, like Brother Reese said, if you're not familiar with receiving, you're the giver all the time. But when God has for you, sometimes we tend to miss it because we're set in our mind frame, or we're studying set in our ways of how things should be done. And then you'll miss God's calling because um, our calling is not God's calling. So we have to really, sometime I had to humble myself and listen and just stop moving and let him drive because, we'll mess up every time. And I did that a lot in my life prior to that, where I made decisions based on what I felt was best or doing things I did what I wanted to do for my family instead of doing for others. So this was a great opportunity and learning experience that he put on me to minister to kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
that. Um, yeah. O Okay, so we took care of what inspired the program. Um, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I started the program, like I said, I actually started ministering to kids, teaching kids and educating kids in I think when I got back in 2011.
Oh,
2011, I
okay.
started my first, training sessions. I partnered with an organization that was close to the community, and I started doing classes and just working with at-risk youth, and bringing kids to the restaurant and stuff like that. But I actually stepped out on faith in 2016. Is when I closed everything, stopped doing everything else, and opened up Youthage Culinary Program Inc. And went completely nonprofit with the organization out of Mundelein, downtown Mundelein. So
So it's going
it was 2016 when it first initially started.
Okay.
August.
oh, so you're going on 9 years.
Actually, it's going on 10 now.
Okay.
Yeah, 2016.
10,
Yeah,
okay.
we're going on. Yeah, we're a little past 9, going on 10. But um, again, this is his program. We
Yeah.
made it through COVID. We made it through financial times, and again, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to make it. COVID was detrimental for me and a lot of people, a lot of other people. But for me to come through and survive COVID, and not because of me, it was nothing I did. It was all God. So he gets all the credit. But that was his notification to let me know that this is my program, and you work for me. So as long as I'm doing the carrying and I'm driving, you just walk through the door if I open it and do what I ask you to do, and it will survive. It will make it. So it's been going strong, and like I said, we've had our challenges, but once again, God don't make mistakes.
So let me ask you this: like, what are some of the things that when a youth is coming to your building and they have no clue about cooking, what can they expect to be able to learn when they walk inside of there, and then what can they be able to walk out with?
Yeah.
After
Well, first, a lot of kids don't understand cooking or don't, but we get a lot of kids that have their confidence is not there. So we want to first build their confidence even before we cook. So we kind of set the mood, when the kids come in for a class. We want to, encourage them and let them know that, they can do it. And we not only teach them cooking, but we educate them on nutrition. And of course, and we have to get the kids engaged. Getting kids engaged, building their confidence before we even start a class. Those are some of the things we do first within the first 30 minutes. Because I want them to feel confident about cooking before we even go over here and, start cooking or messing with a pan. Or a lot of kids have fear that they're going to get burned, or they have fears that they're going to set the house on fire. So it's more so just encouraging these kids when they walk in, and then making sure that they understand the importance of cooking and making food from scratch versus eating out and eating unhealthy foods and some of these snacks that they're eating, and telling them what's an important diet. They think Takis and Cheetos and Flaming Hots is the world. That is a diet,
Yeah, yeah,
and a nice old sody pop. That's a snack. That's good. That's actually a lunch to a lot of kids, and dinner.
Mhm.
And a lot of kids don't get to eat. And when they leave school, it's sad, but it's true. We have a lot of desert areas where they don't have grocery stores, or the parents are working 1, 2 jobs, and we have a single parent. So our purpose is to really educate kids on building confidence so they can get in the kitchen and cook.
Yeah,
Inspire them to want to learn how to cook. And then before they leave and they eat their cooking, and their face lights up and they're so excited about it because they made it and it tastes really good to them. That's payment in a nutshell for me.
yeah,
Because you get a lot of kids that's never tried different foods, so we introduce them to like cooking things that they've never eaten before, like asparagus and Brussels
yeah,
sprouts and green vegetables. We talk a lot about green, why it's important to eat green, the nutritional value, and what it does for your blood. And again, we have to make sure we stress that, because if I can teach you how to cook, that's great, that's wonderful. But if I'm not teaching you what to cook and why it's important to cook these things, I didn't do my job.
yeah,
So that's what we look for when you come in. We want a nice environment. We want to educate you. We want you to have fun, feel relaxed and comfortable, so that way you can take that back home in mom's kitchen, wherever you go, and you can cook and understand that you don't have to eat out. It's best not to eat out because of some of the preservatives that they're putting in food. A
yeah,
lot of kids don't know what preservatives are. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
knowledge is power. If we just kind of educate these kids, because nobody's telling them that, about nutrition. Nobody's
yeah,
educating them. So they think everything from McDonald's is the best thing ever.
yeah,
Takis
and,
is the best thing ever. They just
yeah,
anything hot is good.
and,
Yeah,
yeah,
Lord.
So yeah, so it's this is good to give them that knowledge that they need, man. To when we were coming up, we had like culinary classes in school.
Mhm.
We had sewing and wood shops, and
Mhm.
you know
you
what?
know,
Speak on it,
yeah,
because you know
yeah,
what, that is something serious, because I know
yeah.
um when I was in school, we had home ec. We
Oh man,
had
yeah,
sewing classes, we
yeah,
had different things like that, and so we kind of knew the importance of how to cook. And like you said,
right,
it's
right,
you- it's funny that you're saying that, because now you're bringing back memories as a kid where we were being educated about our
yeah,
food a little
yeah.
bit more, way more now, because
Right.
they don't even have those classes
They
anymore.
don't. And you remember when you were younger, they used to always talk about the food pyramid.
Yeah,
Right?
Yep.
You don't hear that anymore. You don't hear them
No.
saying that this is how much food you should have, this much
right.
protein, how much vegetables. It's like a thing of the past. Michelle Obama had brought back the program, a feeding
The
program,
plate.
and she had started it, and it was doing really well, but it kind of fell by the wayside. And at that time when she was the first lady, you had a lot of chefs getting involved in teaching kids and coming to the schools and letting them, changing these menus that the food that they were eating, and it kind of went away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So I feel that it's important, because if you're going to talk about being healthy, uh, the best thing to do is have prevention.
yeah,
If we can
Yeah.
prevent these kids from becoming diabetic, or
yeah.
having high blood pressure, hypertension, a lot of kids don't know what that is. So
Mhm.
we have to tell them. When I go to school, when I teach a class, oh, you get all that. You're going to get all the knowledge. You're going to get the health part of it, the nutrition side of it. You're going to get the cooking side of it.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you're going to get confidence to cook for yourself. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's important. That's important.
it is.
That is important. Go ahead,
A lot
Jazzy.
of, and I said a lot of schools are just are letting these kids down, because we're not
Mm-hmm.
preparing them for life. We just want them to get by and say they graduated, but we're not really preparing them for life.
Man,
Yeah.
say that again. Say
Yeah.
that again. That is a real thing. Go ahead, Jazzy.
I wanted to ask, how did you decide on like the age group? What made you think of like, okay, we're going to start the littles, I call them littles, the littles at this age to this age, and then youth or the teens from this age to this age. What was the thought process? Because you got them starting young, which is a good thing. But how did you figure, and what is it that you start them off with cooking being so young?
Well, one of the things you remember, you have to, and I'm sure you do know that kids at 4 years old are like sponges, right?
Hmm.
They absorb everything. You can
Absolutely.
see them doing the latest line dance. You can see them,
Yep.
Oh, yes.
doing all
Yep.
these dances
Yep.
at 4. And they remember and retain a lot at that age. They're
Yep.
vulnerable.
Yep.
So they're like sponges and they absorb things at a young age. So the more you can put in the kids at a young age, the less you have to worry about them being when they get older, because they're going to remember, well, Chef Rod told me I need to eat my
Mhm.
vegetables. Chef Rod told me that it's important to eat vegetables because X, Y, and Z. So,
Yep.
and my tiny chefs, they remember it. I have little ones that come back to class and they start yelling out stuff while I'm teaching class. And I say, you're right, but that's not this class. But you're absolutely right. So that tells me they're retaining the information at a young age.
You know what's
Yeah.
so what you're saying is so valid, right? It's a thing where like, and I tell this all the time. I say this to my kids. I'll be like, I'm raising adults. I'm not raising kids, right? And I
Mhm.
say this in a sense of right from the ages of like 1 to 7, they're developing the personality or the person that they're going to
They're
actually
going to be in.
become. Yeah. And so you're right, you hitting that right on the head, whereas like somebody might not put their 4-year-old in the kitchen, but why not? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he's
Yeah.
going that he or she is going to pick up way more than actually the adult that's actually
Mhm.
in the room,
Mhm.
because they're going to be more open to receiving the information versus an adult, because the adult's going to question what you're doing.
They're going to question, and then the two, as you get older, if you haven't started eating or don't understand a proper way of life, I don't like to say diets because diets are short term. But if you're not
Mhm.
focused on a proper way of life when it comes to eating, as you get older, you will not.
Yeah.
All of my 5 family members that passed, I had more than that within that year. But all the ones that did, they refused to change their eating habits because they were so set in their ways.
Mhm.
And not just that, it was more so the African American, the generational curse that we were brought up with.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
smothered chicken, the smothered steak, and rice all the time, and fried chicken, and
Fried
fried
this,
fish,
fried
and
that. Yeah.
frying this, and frying everything about it was just bad. There was a time where it was acceptable because that's what we had to choose.
Yeah.
You're right.
As slaves, we didn't have an option. So we had to eat and then be creative with what we ate, but then we also work 18-hour days,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So we
Mhm.
burned it
Yep.
off. And then the food like sugar, we didn't have sugar to put in sweet potatoes. They used sugar cane, right? Natural
Mhm.
sugars. So we didn't have smoked meat where you put preservatives in it. They actually had the smoked meat underground wrapped in paper. So they smoked the meat underground when they put salt on it. It's cured. But we didn't, times have changed now. So we kept with the older generation, but as time went on, the more preservatives that they put in the food, the lazier we got as a people from not working as much.
Yeah.
It kind of stems to the fact that certain things that you put in your body automatically tell you you're going to be sick later on in life. You're
Yeah.
Yep.
going to be. If you continue to eat fried chicken and fried French fries and Burger King, McDonald's, and all this stuff, it's not if, it's just a matter of time.
When. Yeah.
So
Yep.
so that's why it's important to get these young kids engaged, because you have parents that put kids in front of tablets all day and they just watch these games and all these stuff on Instagram, and the kids absorb that.
Yeah,
But what we should be doing is educating them on things that's going to carry them through life, so it changes their life, so they have a better life.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you 100
Yeah.
Mhm.
percent. You know, that is real. You know, we are definitely and those things called, like you say, hypertension, you know,
Oh yeah.
diabetes, you know, and
Diabetes definitely
yeah,
and child obesity for sure.
and
Absolutely. And those are things that are targeting kids. It used to be when you got older, your 30s, 40s, you start getting diabetes, but obesity is not. Now it's targeting kids
yeah,
that, like, I have kids 11 years old, 10 years old that are
yeah,
diabetic. And it's not from like hereditary. A lot of them have just bad eating habits.
yeah,
Yep.
They eat, all the sugars and the fructose corn syrup that are in drinks and all the stuff that are in the beverages that they put. And I also teach, I don't say, I don't want anybody to just say, well, chef said I should eat it. I tell the kids, do everything in moderation.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
if you're going to eat unhealthy, if you're going to eat something unhealthy, do it in moderation. Pick a day, eat something, but then go back to your good food. Go back to the
Right.
food
Right.
that healthy for you. Right? There's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that. I do it. I select sometime I want to go out, I want to cheat. I'm good. I call it a cheat. I go get it, come back. But I assure you, I go right back to eating the things that I know are healthy for me, especially my vegetables.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man,
For sure.
that's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
love this.
with that being said, so let me ask you this, like, when you got out there and you started being able to just like try to find people who were trying to be able to get involved with fundraising with you, what is a person who look like to you that you want to be able to be involved with your program? Just because I have money to be able to donate to you, I know that you're a person of character. What kind of
Well,
character are you looking towards that to help this your program?
well, I, I don't say that there's a certain type or person that I look for, because it's weird, because God sends me who he wants me to partner with. But anybody can donate or help with this program. I don't care if, you're not walking the straight and narrow. You may not serve God, but maybe this is an opportunity for me to get you engaged in something that you should be doing. Right.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So I don't turn down anything but my collar.
Right.
I'll reach out for any and everybody. But I will not, I don't tolerate shenanigans. When I say that, I have certain older students that are in high school that have a lot of issues that they're dealing with, and they want to help. They mean well, but when it comes time to do it, you can't count on them. They're not reliable. They and kids. When you're working with kids, you have to be reliable. They're counting on you to
Yeah.
be there,
A
right?
hundred
So
percent.
if I'm telling
100%.
you to teach a class or even work with the kids, you have to be able to do that, and the kids look forward to that. So I just want people that are reliable,
Yeah.
that have a sense of dignity, that want to help other people, have a giving spirit, not a take spirit,
Hmm.
and then everything else kind of falls in place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if, however they because I had, not only do I do programs for normal everyday kids, I do programs for kids that are mentally challenged,
Mm.
Mm.
that have learning disabilities. I partner with
Mm.
CEDAL, which is Special Education District of Lake
Mhm.
County, and they have like six or seven. I've done 6 or 7 different their programs for them. I partner with CLC, their PSP program, which is a professional development program for kids that left that program and went on. They're adults now, but they're still mentally challenged or have some other issues or hearing impaired, whatever it is. We do classes for everybody, right?
Mm.
They come
Yeah.
to us for those classes, but they get college credits through CLC once they complete the course. So
Look at
we
that.
teach them how to shop, um, why it's important, understanding how to shop the outside, the perimeter of the store. That's where the healthiest choices are, and where the healthiest foods are normally at the bottom of the shelf, because they don't want you to eat healthy. So I teach those type of classes to special needs as well. So I don't leave anybody out. There's older people. I do senior classes. I do a senior adult classes for a couple organizations out here in Waukegan. Um, yeah, we also donate food. Where we have a summer camp program where kids come in and cook. We take that food to a shelter. We donate it to
Okay.
shelters, battered women shelters, homeless shelters, and so we're constantly trying to find ways to give back as well.
Yeah. Do you
Hmm.
let me ask you this question. So like even with some of the people that you've helped along the way, because it says that you've over 25,000 students that you've impacted over the years and in growing
Yes,
probably more.
and growing. Yeah.
Um can you give like some of the students that come back, or is it people that come back and they give you those stories like, hey, Chef Rob, man, you changed my life.
Oh
Tell us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have students. I've had a couple of students go off to New York for culinary school. I've also had other students go off to college, and I get some students that come back for the summer, and they come out and work with me for the summer, and they help the other kids. So we got kids teaching kids. So we kind of
Hmm.
become a hub for that. But at the same token, I get a lot of kids that I run into, man, uh, throughout Lake County, wherever I'm at, and they always say, "I remember you taught me how to hold a knife properly, and I still hold the knife properly. I know how to cut today." And this happened last week, and I always get kids that come back from college saying, if it had not for you, I wouldn't know how to cook healthy. I cook food in my dorm. I get people asking me in the dorm, can I cook for them? Because they're always eating out unhealthy food. So um, just planting those seeds is a blessing in itself, man. When I get that from kids that remember me as Chef Rob, that taught them something, and a lot of them, come back and they always reach out and say thank you, or they remember. No matter where I go, I've been at schools far out as far as Fox Lake and Ingleside, and when I go to certain high schools, they said, "I remember you came to our grammar school and you taught us X, Y, Z." I said, "Yeah, you remember that?" And they said, "Yeah," and I'm still eating healthy. So it's very important to just plant those seeds and watch them grow.
Yeah, most
That's
definitely.
dope. That is so rewarding, man, and um, it's self gratification to see these kids eat healthy and remember it.
I'm pretty sure that's like the highlight. Like, you know, especially like somebody that's coming from your background where you came from, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, at first you was questioning it
yeah,
like, hey, man,
yeah,
God, all right, I hear you, man, but God,
yeah,
I ain't gonna
yeah,
be doing
yeah,
that right now, man.
yeah.
And then
Right, right.
now now the reward is like it's tenfold, and it comes back around to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure it's self-rewarding in its own,
yeah.
and you just want to just really like, I want to tell you, like, giving you your flowers, just like first
Absolutely.
first
Blessing.
first first time I met you, you know what I mean? I was just like, man, like the spirit of this
Mm.
brother, man, just got a good spirit, man. Just and never looking into nothing negative, never, always just trying to be able to help people move forward. As soon as I met this brother, he seen that I was cooking. He like, hey, let me go get you a restaurant, man. Get some
Yeah,
here,
let's
take
go.
this
Right.
restaurant. Let's go. He was ready to go that day. He was like, dude,
Yeah,
look, I'll put you in here and do this, do
yeah.
this. And just want to tell you, man, just for real, thank you for being a vessel of God, and following
Mhm.
the word and doing what it is that you are supposed to be doing, because we need brothers like you. We need people that are doing what you're doing, because nutrition is definitely something that we are lacking the knowledge
I
on
like. Yeah,
in
yeah.
the communities. And so what are some of the things that you got, what that people can be able to look forward to coming from the program, and what is it that what you see for us in the next couple of years as where the program wants to be able to go and how you want to expand?
Well, we want to expand by putting one of the things let me back up first. The In the near future, we just want to continue to educate. Like I said, we have adult classes. We have classes for kids every Wednesday and Saturday. So we're throughout Lake County. We have classes in Mundelein. We have classes in Waukegan, Zion, wherever there's kids. There's nobody we don't. We travel with this program, like Big Brother, Big Sister, Indian Princess, Girl Scouts. We do all types of programs. So we travel with the program.
Okay.
So
Mm.
one of our biggest things is that now we need more people or more chefs to get involved that want to educate and teach kids,
Mhm.
right? So we're trying to expand, but we need more help with chefs, or you don't even have to be a chef. I can work with you, but be a cook. But then I can teach you the teaching part. Being a chef and a cook is two different things. And when you have to instruct people as an instructor, it's really different. I
Yeah.
can cook all day and then go in front of a class if I'm a cook and then cook, but then you forget how to teach if you're not an instructor, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
doing it, but sometimes I'll forget to tell you what steps or what I use or why I did what. So you have to learn how to be an instructor, and that's what I want to educate, the chefs that I need to come into this program. So right now we're just trying to continue the programs that we do have. We want to do more programs more often with more chefs. So
Yeah.
that's the closest project that we'd like to work on. Our future project is to have the culinary program inside of high schools
Hmm.
and some elementary schools, so that way we can also have kids inside the school. For example, if they're not doing the culinary arts program inside the school, we have kids come to the cafeteria and prepare food for other kids.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now, a lot of companies that you have now are providing food for kids, but these are commodities. So, in other words,
Mm-hmm.
these commodity foods are already prepackaged. They have tons of preservatives. They're
Yeah.
not healthy for kids.
Yeah.
I'd like to go in and do like a fresh start program where we have kids to come in and actually prepare healthy foods, right? So if you have your first period, you're preparing the breakfast.
Yeah.
If you have third or fourth, you're preparing lunch. If
Mhm.
you have anything other than that, you're preparing after that. The next day, you're prepping for breakfast. So it's kids teaching kids at the same time. They're preparing healthy meals so that these kids understand how to eat healthy. If I can get that, and then have kids compete against other schools, right? So bring
Yeah.
challenges so kids can rep their school.
Right.
That's my big project. That's the next project I want to have. It's called Rep Your School Cook Off.
Hey,
So
man.
three candidates from each school can get represent. They're gonna do a main dessert, main entree, and then the dessert, and and
Mm.
and and one round, and they're gonna compete against each other. And then, of course, we try to get them scholarships or funding for college
Oh
with
man,
the
that's
I
winners.
love that.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah.
that is amazing. That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
that's our future goal, man. So we're working on that now, and I'm just waiting on God to move and do what God does best, and look forward to seeing that in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wheels
Jazzy.
are turning.
Yeah. Jazzy.
Mm.
So what
Mm.
hey,
So, like I
man.
said, we partner with everybody. If you want to partner with us, if you have information that you want to partner with us, they can always reach out at
Absolutely.
www.youthageculinary.com, the website that
Hold
you guys
on.
put up,
I got you.
or
Oh,
yeah,
I got
right,
you.
or
Eh,
shoot us an email
there
at
you go.
youthhageculinary at gmail. If you want to sponsor a kid, you can sponsor classes. So if you make a donation, you go to the donation link. If you click on that, it shows you that you can sponsor or pay $200, with that $200 goes towards 10 kids. So if you want to sponsor a class with your
Mm.
business, by all means, we tell the kids this is sponsored by, those classes are paid for by, and they don't have to pay a thing, or donations are not asked for. We only ask for donations because, of course, we have to ask for food costs. Food costs is expensive. So $25, $30. I think the highest we have for donations like $35 a kid. But we try to do group settings, but all proceeds go back into this program.
Mhm.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's
Yeah.
times we have a free pop-up class. We get certain XYZ amounts of dollars. We do a free class for kids to just come out and learn. So we have organizations. We've had Granger. We've had AdV. So we do adult corporate parties as well. So they come out and they do training seminars where the junior subordinates the seniors become juniors, and then the junior personnel are dictating and running the kitchen, giving them orders.
That's
And
cool.
and they all cook together and make a good meal. I think the last one we did was like making pasta, so that it was an Italian theme. So we encourage everybody, man, just get involved in cooking, get these kids in the kitchen, and make the most out of not diets but a way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing, and I know as a company we would love to be able to try to we would definitely love to be able to help you in a multitude of ways. So yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely, like this is I'm
It's
all like,
good.
yeah, like I say, man, I'm like I always tell people that it's like when I talk, I see people doing different programs. I'll be like, man, they should really be able to get to meet you and what you're doing with this program. And like I say, I'm just proud of you. I'm always proud of you. And I'm thankful for you to be able to even spend your time with us today. Cause I know you
Oh,
got
yeah.
a lot of things you could be doing, but we are appreciative of the time that you're
Yeah.
able to spend with us today.
Yeah. It's such an honor and a pleasure, brother. And don't forget now, that vegan food that you had, I'm waiting on some more of that to come back, man. So you could share some of those recipes or so a Zoom tutorial and teach some of these kids because that food was fire. I do vegan, some vegan foods and but we have to introduce kids to showing them how to, make mushrooms out of protein, using them in certain places and doing some of the things that you were doing, which really intrigued me as well, man. So everybody I run into, man, I'm still learning. I don't know everything, but it's a constant learning curve and learning environment for me to. I learn stuff from 4 year olds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm constantly trying to learn from them. I'm teaching. While I'm teaching, I'm learning. How to deal with certain kids, or how to handle certain situations, and so it's always learning, man. Because we all need to learn and continue to learn. If you run into somebody that knows everything, he's a fool.
Sure.
But I most certainly can say that, man. I'm constantly in the business for learning, and whenever I learn, I try to share it with others. So that way, I can say when it's time for me to go home, brother, I did my job.
Absolutely. 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 Jazzy, is there anything else that you wanted to ask Chef Rob?
You
She
have
just
no idea. My mind is like, ah, mm,
Well,
thank
Jazz,
you.
anything
Thank
you come up
you.
with, I know and I always look for young entrepreneurs, man, um that want to do things. So anything you have, advice, encouragement, anything you come up with that you think will help these kids, not me, but help this program and these kids, man, feel free to reach out. You
yeah.
know,
Oh,
feel free.
I'm
Please.
already there. I can't wait to you. My creative juices is flowing. I've
Okay.
already sent her a message like, I want to. Yeah, I got you.
All right.
This is
And I'll
good. This is
travel.
good.
I'll travel wherever you at. I'll get on a flight now.
Yeah, he
All
won't
right.
stop. He no holds barred. I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's
look, that
go.
man, he's serious. He'll
Yeah,
put you
coast to
in.
coast. Let's go.
Hey, and this is what I'm
Listen,
gonna.
I gotta go ahead. I'm
All right.
happy.
So before you do leave, Chef Rob, what I want to be able to do is I want you to be able to give some words of wisdom and some words of encouragement to entrepreneurs that are actually getting started with their business, that are trying to be able to move forward with their business, and just can't find the courage or can't find the word to be able to keep going. Give them a word that something that helped you along your way on your journey that could be able to help the next Robert Collins be able to
Man.
start the business.
Well, all I can say is this. First, put God first. That's number one. Put God first. Two, if you have a vision, hold on to your vision. Don't let anybody say no. Don't listen to the naysayers. Surround yourself with positive thinking people. Surround yourself with people that want to do things, and surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to do.
Mhm.
Because the best way to
There you
learn from
go.
people is surround yourself with people that's either doing what you're doing is successful, even if they've tried. And don't be afraid of failure, because failure is the first step to success. If you
Sure.
don't fail, you can't learn because you never made the mistakes. And then you start making them as you get older. But so if you make mistakes, it's okay. Just get back up, keep trying, but never listen to naysayers. Don't stop. If you're an entrepreneur, you have a vision, and you said, well, somebody else is doing that. Okay, then find out what you can do that makes whatever you're doing different
Yeah.
than
Mhm.
anybody
Yep.
else. That's
Yes.
business. If you can find a niche or do something that nobody else is doing, or you do something that you are doing that hasn't been done yet, then you really have an upper hand. You
Yeah.
really got the upper
Mm.
hand because now people are going to want to come to do something different that they haven't done. And you see a lot of entrepreneurs now doing businesses like that. Uh, um, who would ever thought that axe throwing would be a thing? Right? Who would ever think that some of the restaurants, it used to be rooftops wasn't a thing of. Now everybody's doing rooftop dinners and
Yep.
Mhm.
so create your own niche. Don't give up. Don't stop trying. Don't stop aspiring to be what you want to be. And most things important, like I said, is always hold on to God's unchanging hands, and
Man.
you'll be successful, man. You'll be successful, but you got to let Him lead. You have to let Him lead.
Hey,
Yeah,
that is advice 101.
absolutely.
Yes.
My
You
man.
gotta be able to be in your business and you gotta fall back and let
Yeah,
God lead that
yeah.
thing, man, for real.
And
And
humble yourself. Be
whew,
humble. Don't
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? Nobody can teach you if you know everything. There's nothing I can do for you. So yeah,
yeah,
you have to be humble.
yeah.
Yes.
In so many different ways and so many different times. I know as entrepreneurs, we find ourselves always trying to get in the way, get in the
Yeah,
way, thinking it's our vision and it ain't our vision, and that comes along with that, like you say, that humbleness, that
yeah,
learning that it's something that's greater than you, that has way
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah,
infinite
yeah.
intelligence than you could ever think about.
Yeah, and but that's the enemy's job. He gets in your mind, start talking to you and telling you what you can't do, and this
Yep,
ain't gonna work, and all that. Don't listen to none of that, man. Don't listen to him. Stay focused, stay the course, and keep moving forward, and you'll be all right, one step at a time.
man, for real,
Absolutely.
man.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, listen,
Absolutely.
Chef Rob, man, we want to thank you so much. And then too, if anybody is interested in being able to come on the podcast, we definitely want to be able to have you come on. You can go to potboilerconnect.com/podcast. That's potboilerconnect.com/podcast, and you can fill out our podcast form, and we'd be interested in being able to hear your story, have you coming on here to be able to tell your story to people and sharing it with other entrepreneurs. Man, we want to thank you again, Chef Rob. Man, Chef Rob, thank you so much for being able to
It's
come
an
on.
honor, man. Honor and
It,
pleasure. I'm so proud of you.
thank
I
you,
am so proud of you, man, because you didn't stop. No matter what happened, you kept moving forward. Now you're doing your thing, and it brings very very much emotions to me, brother, to see you keep doing your thing, because a lot of young men will follow after what you do as well. So
man.
keep
Thank
moving.
you,
I'm proud of you,
thank
man.
you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you
Absolutely.
so much. So, hey, Jazzy, you gonna sign off for us? Tell them you want to give them some words. Give them some words, Jazz. Give them some words.
He said it all. I can pray us out, but you definitely did because I was just like, dang, my jaws hurt. Like I'm just smelling so hard.
Yeah.
I love all this.
Yeah.
Um, if you want more of this, um, Robert Collins, we had to get you all into our Facebook group. All the inspiration you just gave. Go ahead and connect with us on our inspirational journeys as we help people through their business and their personal life, starting with holistic, spiritual, to get their mindsets together personally in order to help their businesses grow as well.
Absolutely.
So we are Potboiler Connect group on Facebook. And we also have our potboilerconnect.com/free members, where we also have courses and trainings that we do as well.
Can I
So yes,
can I
go
say
ahead.
one more thing? Will this be aired, of course, in this area, of course? Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to say one more thing. I want to thank, first of all, my wife, my family, my daughters, for always being supportive, always being there, making sure they help me out. And they're so inspirational. But my wife is also for kids and education. So she's running for North Chicago School Board. So if you guys get an
Okay.
opportunity to get out and vote, if this airs before April 1st, Veronica Collins.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Make sure you get out and vote,
Alright.
man, because hey, we all about education. We are
Yes,
definitely about education. So we definitely, yes, absolutely. Make sure y'all get out and vote for her, please, man. Please get out and vote for her. Trying to make some changes. And I know if
yeah,
anything, if you're supporting it, I know for a fact that if she gets in there, it's going to be some changes that's going to be able to help some kids be able to move forward in a very, 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 very good direction. And I know that
absolutely.
you, because
Thank you.
you're a visionary, and I know your wife is a visionary. I know you
Yes,
wouldn't
she is.
you wouldn't settle for nothing less. And so I
Very much.
ain't no doubt about it, brother. So yes, most definitely everybody in the area, please get out there and vote. And make sure you guys support education towards kids. We are trying to push kids to the next generation. Maybe if you weren't a kid that wasn't able to get that education, be the one that be able to lead the ones that can
Mhm.
be able to get it,
Yep,
and we can be able to change a generation by just one mind. It takes one mind. If we can ignite one mind, we can change the world. So
that's it.
hey, hey, thank you
Don't hang up.
again.
Don't
Oh,
hang up.
yeah,
Don't
don't
hang up
hang
when
up.
we're finished,
But
okay?
Okay.
Don't hang up.
thank you, Mr. Collins. Appreciate you again. Again, y'all can be able to come in and sign off with us, man. I mean, not sign off with us, sign up with us at potboiler.com/podcasters. Peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. You know what I'm talking about. See y'all again. You know what I'm saying? It's my co-host Jazzy Fresh. She in the building. You know what I'm talking about. Peace and blessings,
Just
y'all.
forget my real name.